Hello there and welcome to the Liverpool versus FC Porto review. And it was a great game last night. It really was a great game. I am going to touch on Man City and Tottenham as well because it needs to be talked about a little bit as well. But I'm mainly going to be focusing obviously on my team, my beautiful Liverpool team. We went out there and we won 4-1 away, 6-1 on aggregate. What was a very good performance from everybody. The goal that we conceded against Porto, it was just one of those. Eder Militao is a very good, in the air, young centre-back, and he rose very well. He had a good run on the ball as well. We probably could have tracked him a little bit better, but let's get into the Liverpool goals. Mane, and what could be a focal point of this video, especially later on in terms of VAR, Mane is running just past the defence. He's about to go past the defence and a ball comes over to him. He slides and he puts it in the back of the net. Flag goes up straight away and you're thinking, haha, it's going to be one of those nights, right? Because before that, before all this happened, Porto were at us. In my preview, I did say that we are going to have to be braced for FC Porto coming at us like a freight train. And pretty much that's exactly what they did. Probably one of the key points that I either heard someone on commentary say or I've read it somewhere saying if FC Porto were actually clinical in the chances that they took against us before we went 1-0 up, this could have been a very different tie altogether. This could have been a ridiculously hard tie for us, and it was difficult. It was difficult. 6-1 on aggregate makes it look like it was a stroll in the park, and in some points, yes, it was like that, but Porto never gave up. They never gave up. The only thing that let them down was finishing and finishing ability. You had the likes of Marega and Brahimi getting in the box, having good chances, and they basically put all their shots, either didn't have enough power on them or they were putting them straight at Alisson when they were getting in behind our defence. Looked for a long time at the start of that game that we just could not get a handle on it. You're thinking, man, 5 minutes of this, hopefully it calms down. Then 10 minutes is, oh my god, 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, and we're still not getting a grip on the game. 26 minutes in, Mane puts the ball in the back of the net, but it is ruled offside. But wait a minute. Goal. Whatever the hand signal is. I don't know what the hand signals all are. I know that one apparently means it's not a goal right up in the air because of the Man City game, but we'll get onto that later. But yeah, a VAR check actually ruled him to be onside when the ball was played, and it was correct. People don't like it. People don't like VAR, and I might actually, no, you know what, I'm going to shelve that to the end of the video. I'm going to do a VAR talk at the end of the video and why I'm a fan of it. Then we go into, I think we went into half time, we were only 1-0 up. We come out in the second half on the counter. Trent Alexander-Arnold plays a wonderful ball through to Mohamed Salah. Salah slots it past the keeper and it's 4-0 on aggregate to us, and it's looking exceptionally comfortable. Commentary, they turn around and say, we've put this tie to bed. Eder Militao scores his header, makes it 4-1. Fair play. Now at this point, Bobby Firmino had come on at half time as well, and Bobby Firmino, Henderson had also come on at some point, but I can't remember when. He'd come on, and yeah, because he didn't start the game, he'd come on, crossed the ball into the box. Roberto Firmino's pointing, put it in this space. He crosses it in the box and a nice downward header. With the downward header, he megs Casillas in pure Bobby Firmino style. He megs him with a header and it goes in the back of the net. It's 5-1 on aggregate. It's 3-1 on the night. And then to wrap things up, a corner is floated in. I actually don't know who put the corner in. I really don't. It could have been Milner. I can't even remember if he was on the pitch at that point though, to be honest. Anyway, corner comes in, it's headed off by the first man, and Van Dijk reacts exceptionally quickly and nods it in. He gets a goal. It's 4-1 on the night. It's 6-1 on aggregate, and we are going through to face Barcelona. Gonna cover that in just a second as well. But thoughts on the team? The team selection was a little bit strange. But at first I was like, right, that midfield was strong enough. You know, you've got Fabinho, you've got Gini Wijnaldum in there, and you've got Milner. It's strong enough to do something. Honest to God, it wasn't. Fabinho was being left isolated and left to do a lot of work and too much work. He is a magnificent midfielder. We've seen that already this season. We've seen what he's grown into. But he can't do it all. And you've got an entire midfield trying to be ran by Fabinho. And this isn't slating Wijnaldum and Milner. They've been brilliant for us. They weren't right for this game, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. They couldn't get a grip on this game. And they've come into this game and they didn't really, I don't want to say stake a claim because they're both brilliant players. But it just wasn't the right game for them. And when Henderson come on, it was noticeable. When Firmino came on, it was noticeable. Origi, he got put out on the left-hand side first of all. He got moved then into the centre forward position, the striker position. Again, he's a big lad. He's got good pace and that. He just couldn't get an effect on the game. Couldn't really make an impact on it. You could tell when Henderson came on, when Firmino came on. Can't remember if we made any other subs, to be honest. But you really could tell when they came on. It was a gulf. I don't want to say a massive gulf in class. I just think it was ready for these players. I think this game was ready for Henderson. It was ready for Firmino. It was. I thought it was primed for these guys. Oh, and Joe Gomez came on as well. I can't remember who he came on for. I think he came on for Trent and he went to right back. Seeing Joe Gomez come back, man, I'm just glad to see him back on the pitch. You know, whether it was 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was, I am just so happy to see that lad back on the pitch and looked pretty comfortable, to be fair. Obviously, we were, you know, plain sailing at that point when he came on, but it was the perfect time to bring him on, get him on the pitch and get him moving around it in a match situation. Brilliant stuff to see that. Now, I'm going to talk about Barcelona for a little bit and then we're going to talk about VAR. The challenge ahead is Barcelona, okay? It's going to be difficult. This is going to be, like I've said in this video, if FC Porto were a bit more clinical, this could have been a different tie. We're about to come up against one of the most clinical and, in my opinion, the best player in footballing history, and this is my opinion, in Messi. Doesn't matter how old he is, doesn't matter if he's on form, whether he's feeling it or not. A bad night for Messi can be a goal and an assist. That's a bad night. A terrible night might be an assist. Like, he is the world-class player in my eyes. People, obviously, you know, people will come at you or come at me with maybe Ronaldo and stuff like that. For me, it's always been Messi. He is a magnificent player, and we're gonna, you know, and never mind the fact that we're gonna come up against Suarez and Coutinho. They're gonna come to Anfield as well, depending on injuries. I don't know if any of them are injured or not. It's gonna be difficult. The one thing that you can take from Barcelona is that they don't always have the most solid defence, and they don't always have the most agile midfield either, which then you could see openings for Henderson, for Naby Keita, Fabinho to marshal it. Fabinho versus Busquets. I can't wait to see that. Honestly, I really can't wait to see that. And then our front three, Firmino, Mane, Salah against Coutinho or Dembele, Suarez, Messi. It's going to be ridiculous. And then you've got two great goalkeepers as well in Alisson and ter Stegen. I'm really looking forward to it. At this point, it's semi-finals against a great team with great players. It's win or lose. And I'm not necessarily nervous for either. Just because we're going to be going up against a team that is, if not the same calibre as us, if they could be they're a level above us in terms of success and such like that in modern football anyway. They are pretty, I can't even put it into comprehension. They are like stacks above us in terms of that, and then they've got Messi. But I actually believe that we can go there and we can cause some damage. I really honestly do. I really think we can do some damage. They can do it to us, we can do it to them. Now, let's talk about VAR for a couple of minutes. VAR is a great thing. It is a great thing and a needed thing for football moving forward. Whether it's World Cups, European Championships, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cups, Carabao Cup, whatever it's called, whatever league it's in, needs to have VAR. And I mean that even if it goes against us. I really do. Heard Pep Guardiola last night saying he's still a fan of VAR. It ruled out a 93rd minute goal for Manchester City, which would have took them to the semi-finals, and it would have been Man City versus Ajax. Instead, They celebrated. They got a 92nd or 93rd minute goal through Sterling, right? They've got it. They celebrate for like a straight minute. Okay, Pep Guardiola's down the touchline. All the players are going mental. The fans are rightly going mental as well. And then VAR steps in and says no. And it's right. It's right. It would be heartbreaking if that happened to us, but it would be right. Now, people turn around to me, people I work with today, they turn around and say, but it takes out discussion points. It takes out like things that you can talk about. I would rather have nothing to talk about and have correct decisions happen for or against me than have talking points where we potentially, like, look at Tottenham today. What would they be feeling if they then they look after the game, then they see all the newspaper articles with lines and doing offside lines and like Aguero's just a little bit in front of it, and then headlines of such like Aguero offside goal puts Man City through to the semi-finals in the Champions League. That's not right. That's not right. Tottenham going through on away goals, while I don't like away goals, Tottenham going through on away goals because of a correct decision that actually went their way, and the one with Fernando Llorente, apparently a handball, but when you watch that back, and I've watched it back today, I've watched the highlights for Man City and focused a little bit on that little bit with Fernando Llorente. Oh, it was a handball. It wasn't. Absolutely wasn't. If you look at the angles that the referee was looking at, it wasn't. And the decision was correct. It's harsh. It is harsh. But it was right. That's all you can say. We had it. It went in our favour. The decision was correct. Mane was onside. But he was onside. This is the thing, and this is what Premier League needs as well. We've benefited from offside goals, and we've had offside goals go against us, or ones where fouls don't get picked up here and there. It's needed for football. For football to go forward and be fair, VAR is needed everywhere. People that are against it, if you want something to talk about, if you want talking points just because, they should have had that goal should have been disallowed. Well, if that goal gets disallowed, then your talking point is great decision by the refs, great decision by VAR for ruling out that goal, because now the rightful winners, or if they get a draw or avoid a loss in some way, they've benefited from a system that will work. The system will take work, and when it's implemented into the Premier League, it's going to make mistakes. It might make mistakes, but they're going to be minimal to the mistakes that referees are making week in, week out, especially in the Premier League. Especially in the Premier League. That's all I can say. I'm a fan of VAR, and I want it to be in every footballing competition possible. All this crap about when they turn around and say, oh, stadiums can't have this fitted. Make something that it can be fitted. There were games in the FA Cup, I'm pretty sure it was a Man City game as well, and they went down, and there was a goal in there. They would have actually gone out. I'm pretty sure they would have gone out, or it would have gone to extra time. But it was either an offside goal or a foul was picked up somewhere, but there was no VAR at the stadium because it was a lower league team. Find a way so that it can be used. Otherwise, do not use it in that competition, because you can't have, like a Man United game or something in the FA Cup, I'm trying to go off memory here, where it had VAR in it and it made decisions for them. Well, you've got a team over here, a lower league team, don't get the benefit of that because it's a lower league team and their stadium can't apparently have it in there. Find a way to get it for everybody, or don't use it. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'm out of here. That's the Champions League roundup. Basically a Champions League roundup, but I love my team. Liverpool are fantastic right now, and we're going to come up against Barcelona in the next round. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the games last night, and what do you think is going to happen in the semi-finals. Let me know it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like the video, subscribe if you're new around here. But for now, I am out of here. I'm going to go get some dinner, and I'll catch you later.